Hey guys, how you all doing today? And today we're watching V for Vendetta. Now, this has been a movie that I've heard of quite a few times, and it's been suggested to me by you guys a lot in the comments of my Matrix videos. And the same guys that made those movies also made this. And this is based on a graphic novel as well. So it sounds really promising. I have no idea what it's about. I am completely blind going into this movie, but I'm expecting, like the Matrix, a complex story and in your face crazy action scenes and funny moments. Maybe unintentionally, but maybe they have a different style going to this movie. I don't know. I have no idea. But judging from the Matrix movies that I really did enjoy, I thoroughly enjoyed those movies, even though there were certain parts I was a bit confused with in terms of the execution and what they were trying to go for. I enjoyed it as a trilogy. And if you want to check out the full-length reactions to this, you can on my Patreon, where you can watch full-length reactions to all the movies and TV show episodes I watch with the reference footage, so you don't have to sync up with a timer. No, you can just watch it all there. It's all there for you. So yeah, without further ado, let's fucking do this, boys and girls. 3, 2, 1, go. Warner Brothers Pictures that likes to block all my videos on YouTube.
I know his name was Guy Fawkes. And I know in 1605 he attempted to blow up the Houses of Parliament.
Oh, it's like a terrorist. Big doggy.
But 400 years later, an idea can still change the world. I've witnessed
Yeah,
the
hanged, isn't he now?
power of
Yeah.
ideas. They do not bleed. They do not feel pain.
They make you feel sorry for the terrorist. Interesting.
And it is not an idea that I miss. It is a man. A man that made me remember the 5th of November. A man that I will never forget.
Fire. V for Vendetta. I like that. It's a cool looking tower card. I like it.
So, I read that the former United States is so desperate for medical supplies
Former?
that they have. I think it's high time we let the colonies know what we really think of them. I think it's payback time for a little tea party they threw for us a few hundred years ago. I say we go
Padme.
down to those docks tonight and dump that crap where everything from the ulcered sphincter of our Serica belongs. Who's with me? Who's bloody with me?
Sounds a bit aggressive.
Would you like? Here was a country that had everything, absolutely everything. And now, 20 years later, is what? The world's biggest leper colony. It wasn't the war they started. It wasn't the plague they created. It was
Plague?
No one escapes.
I have so many questions right
No
now.
one escapes judgment.
That guy looks
think he's
epic
not up
with his daggers.
You think immigrants, Muslims, homosexuals, terrorists, disease-ridden degenerates. They had to go.
Oh,
Strength.
dear. This is a very far-right opinion.
Goddamn proud of it.
That's quite enough of that, thank you very much.
Thank you, Padme. I appreciate it. You're breaking my heart, Anakin.
A yellow-coded curfew is now in effect.
I have so many questions. There's a curfew as well. A plague? What?
For your
Maybe you could look after us before getting back to your uncle. See, my friend here, he's kind of sick, don't you, Willie?
Real sick. Bad
These
case of the
dicks.
blues.
But we exercise our own judicial discretion.
And you get to swallow it.
Oh, God, your finger me.
Oh, she's getting the picture.
No, no, please.
Fingerman.
No, I'm sorry.
If you're not the sorriest piece of arse in all of London, then you'll certainly be the sorest.
Take your mustache and fuck off, buddy.
Bloody execution. We're fingermen, pal.
He hasn't killed them, which is pretty generous, to be honest. That backfired, buddy. So these guys, like, they abuse their power. These fuckers.
That with devotion's visage and pious action, we do sugar o'er the devil himself.
What's that mean?
Spare the rod.
The guy sounds familiar. I like his voice.
Who are you?
Who is but the form following the function of what, and what I am is a man in a mask.
Oh, I can see that.
Of course you can. I'm not questioning your powers of observation. I'm merely remarking upon the paradox of asking a masked man who he is.
Good point.
Voila! In view, a humble vaudevillian veteran, cast vicariously as both victim and villain by the vicissitude, and has vowed to vanquish these venal and virulent vermin, vanguarding vice and vouchsafing the violently vicious and voracious violation of volition.
V. Yeah.
For the day, vindicate the vigilant and the virtuous. I simply add that it's my very good honor to meet you, and you may call me V.
Right. So V stands for
Are
vengeance.
you like a crazy person?
I'm quite sure they will say so. E.V. Of course you are.
What does that mean?
It means that I, like God, do not play with dice and do not believe in coincidence.
Adam and Eve.
Oh, I'm fine.
This is destiny.
Yes.
Where's your instruments?
I don't see any instruments.
Your powers of observation continue to serve you well. It is to Madame Justice.
Do that!
Wait! Here comes the crescendo!
Oh shit. Whoa. How the fuck did he do that?
Whoever he is, Chancellor, he's very good.
Spare us your professional annotations, Mr. Finch. They are irrelevant.
Apologies, Chancellor.
Gentlemen, this is a test.
He's like Chancellor
Moments
Palpatine.
such as these are matters of faith. To fail is to invite doubt into everything we believe, everything that we have fought for. England prevails.
What the fuck happened to England? What the fuck happened to England? Hell no. You're like a dictator, haven't you? I would be a terrorist.
Why not?
Wouldn't be a good one, to be honest.
Why does he wear a Guy Fawkes mask and then blow up the Bailey? Didn't Fawkes try to blow up Parliament?
It's not too late. He's still got another 16 hours.
Mm,
Maybe he's just getting started.
indeed. So he's wearing the mask of a guy of the terrorists in 1605, was it? What a weird movie so far. So England, it's a nightmare. You're like an evil dictator.
What the hell is this?
Ah, Guy Fawkes mask.
Just put them over there until I can figure out what they're for.
You know what that means, girl.
Who's that? Don't piss me about.
Ah.
Fucking hell.
Fucking hell, mate. So we have guns too. We all have guns now.
Good evening, London. There are, of course, those who do not want us to speak. Words will always retain their power. Words offer the means to meaning, and for those who will listen, the enunciation of truth. And the truth is, there is something terribly wrong with this country.
Indeed. Speaking out some porn.
Crew, you now have sensors and systems of surveillance coercing your conformity and soliciting your submission.
We need cameras.
Fear got the best of you, and in your panic you turned to the now High Chancellor Adam Sutler. He promised you order, he promised you peace, and all he demanded in return was your silent, obedient consent. 1 year from tonight, outside the gates of Parliament, and together we shall give them a 5th of November that shall never, ever be forgotten.
If I watched this a year ago, when COVID was first a thing and lockdown was discussed, was first implemented, I would have been very nervous after watching this movie. I'm glad I'm watching it now, but we're still on lockdown, and this could happen, I guess, maybe. Fucking hope not.
You put masks on all of us.
Yeah, he ain't stupid.
There's a bomb wired to the timer in the control booth.
Oh no.
There's the bomb. You got 3.5 minutes. Nice. If they're gonna kiss then. Got the quality of deception.
Here we go.
Powerful agents for the uninitiated. Oh.
I did it.
Did you? Imagine rush hour.
We were here before you even got started. Bad luck, chummy.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Nice. Good teamwork.
High-powered explosives and other weapons that he used against unarmed civilians in order to broadcast a message of hate.
Really?
Justice believed that during this heroic raid, the terrorist was shot and killed. Bollocks. Again, from what we've been told by authorities, the danger is now over. The terrorist is dead.
No. What a complete load of bollocks. I don't know what to make of his place, to be honest.
Where'd you get all this stuff? You stole them.
Oh, heavens no. Stealing implies ownership. You can't steal from the censor. I merely reclaimed them.
God, if they ever find this place.
You have to understand, Evie, I didn't want this for either of others, but I couldn't see any other way. You were unconscious, and I had to make a decision.
You did the right
If I
thing.
left you there, right now, you'd be in one of Creedy's interrogation cells. They'd imprison you, torture you, and, in all probability, kill you in the pursuit of finding me.
I have to stay here for a year.
Sorry, Evie. I didn't know what else to do.
You should have left me alone. Why did you just leave me alone?
It makes sense why she reacts that way, but he did the right thing. Toast. Well, he had Freddy Krueger hands.
Your hands? Can I ask what happened?
There was a fire a long time ago. Ancient history for some.
With enough people, blowing up a building can change the world.
I wish I believed that was possible. But every time I've seen this world change, it's always been for the worse.
Been there. I wish I'd had the chance for a face-to-face. Just one chance, that's all.
Who watches their own show? You happy one egomaniac.
This so-called V and his accomplice England prevails.
Ah, that shot.
Holy Christ! Jesus!
I've made sure our reunion won't be disturbed by any
Reunion?
pesky late-night phone calls. Commander.
Stop that. Why do you keep calling me that?
That was your title, remember? When we first met all those years ago. You wore a uniform in those days. You. It is you. The ghost of Christmas past.
Christmas Carol. I have so many questions.
My fat metal friend.
He had a good thing killing that guy, the voice of London, though, isn't it? It's a good first step to what he wants to achieve.
The voice of London passed away late last night from apparent heart failure. An extraordinary talent.
She's lying.
He dedicated his life to his country
How'd you
and
know?
his beliefs.
She blinks a lot when she does a story she knows is false.
And it came as no surprise to those who knew him that his body was found in his office.
She knows it was him.
Sorely missed.
Yeah, she knows.
I see.
There's no court in this country for men like Prothero.
And are you going to kill more people?
Yes.
Take a look at this.
Justice. An eye for an eye, I guess. But
Do you think there's a connection between our boy and Lark Hill?
It might explain the connection between him and the Hammond girl.
Lark Hill. Lark Hill. I cannot recall that particular facility, Inspector, but you're welcome to review our records.
We've been
Liar.
through your records are either deleted, omitted, or missing.
yeah. So what happened to him in Lark Hill? What happened? So he got burned, severely burned.
I remember them arguing at night. Mum wanted to leave the country. Dad refused. He said if we ran away, they would win.
They won anyway.
Win. Evie, quick, hide.
What a traumatizing thing to see as a kid.
I never saw them again. Sorry I'm not a stronger person. Sorry I'm not like my parents. I wish I was, but I know this world is screwed up. Believe me, I know it better than most. Which is why I wanted to ask if there's anything I can do to help make it right.
So many doctors.
I don't know, but this is interesting. The highest paid person at the camp was a priest.
Really?
Yeah, Father Lilliman.
Lilliman?
Paid almost 200 grand a month.
Fucking hell.
No, that is interesting. Looks like he was promoted. He's a bishop now.
I bet you'll say to you, I don't remember. I don't recall.
They've sent a new girl who I'm afraid is a little older than usual.
Older? Oh dear, she's not too old, I trust.
That is for us to decide.
No, she's 10 years old.
Oh my.
Your Grace.
What in the fuck? Get him!
Passion! You little bitch! You fucking little whore!
She weren't lying.
Oh my God, she wasn't lying. It is you.
I'm sorry. I had to.
Evie! Das
clothe my naked villainy with old odd ends stolen forth.
Why did she do that? Because she wants the wife back.
If the government ever searched my house, you would be the least of my problems.
Why is that?
He believes he did. Cost me more than this house. But no matter how bad I feel, it always cheers me up.
Huh.
It's a copy of the Quran, 14th century.
Are you Muslim?
No, I'm in television. Because in this world, if I were to invite who I desired, I would undoubtedly find myself without a home, let alone a television show.
Mm-hmm.
He leaves them at the crime scenes. I'd appreciate it if you could have a look at it. Any information could be helpful.
Of course.
Rise is saying, yes, I know what this means, but she's not telling us.
Yeah.
Dr. Diana Stanton changed the name of Delia Surridge.
The coroner?
Yep.
It's her, innit? Yeah. Is V around? There he is.
You've come to kill me.
Yes. I killed you 10 minutes ago. While you slept.
Is there any pain?
No.
Thank you.
Oh. You know, violent protest, revenge. That's, you know, that's what's kind of motivating him, though, isn't it? Revenge. Is that the right thing to do? Is it the right way to approach it?
Terrorist obviously wanted us to have it. He wanted us to know the story.
As the authenticity of this document cannot be verified, it could be an elaborate forgery created by the terrorist as easily as it could be the deranged fantasy of a former party member who resigned for psychological reasons.
This fucking guy.
They're so weak and pathetic. They never look you in the eye. I find myself hating them.
Wow, it's like a concentration camp.
August the 18th.
Oh, Jesus.
Of the original 4 dozen,
Fucking hell.
75% on that. And I saw him, the man from room 5.
What the fuck? It was more than just a detention facility. It was way more than that.
What if the most horrifying biological attack in this country's history was not the work of religious extremists? If our own government was responsible for what happened at St. Mary's, our own government was responsible for the deaths of almost 100,000 people.
This is so crazy watching this when COVID's a big thing right now.
It would be a nice idea to try and help you relax. Go.
What the fuck?
Ah, warm milk. There's nothing better. I understand.
They're taking the piss out of the Chancellor. Oh no.
The terrorist! Hello, dear.
He's gonna be so... If I was that talk show host, I'd be so nervous. He's gonna be in deep shit now.
Ready! Aim! Fire!
Well, what are they going to do? Fine us? Big deal. We've got the most watched show on air.
They're gonna do more than just fine you here, pal.
I'm going to have to make some kind of apology, do some boring fundraiser, and in the meantime, our ratings will go through the roof.
Oh, he has no idea.
Fine. Trust me.
V, protect him. Under the beds, really? Oh, it's very reminiscent to what happened to her mom.
Not so funny now, is it? Funny man.
Jesus. Yeah, it's parallel to what happened to her mom.
No, no.
So close and yet so far.
The bombing of government property, conspiracy to commit terrorism, treason, and sedition. The penalty for which is death by firing squad.
Whoa. Oh shit. V, come on, save her. You should have stayed with V. It's like neo-fascist, totalitarian society. It's fucking mad. Hey, this movie's made me realize things could be worse. Oh. In terms of politics and society. I'm not big on politics. I don't even want to discuss politics. But it could be worse. The fuck is that? Dog food? What's that? Oh my god. It wasn't a good idea to do that parody of the Chancellor. It wasn't a good idea.
My name is Valerie. I don't think I'll live much longer, and I wanted to tell someone about my life. 2002, I fell in love with a girl named Christina. That year, I came out to my parents. I couldn't have done it without Chris holding my hand. My father wouldn't look at me. He told me to go and never come back.
Prick.
Wanted to. Just tell us where he is.
I don't know.
Could be worse. He'd be playing music over and over and over again for 24 hours when you're trying to sleep. You know, at least it's quiet. I'm trying to find any positives.
They took Ruth while she was out buying food. I've never cried so hard in my life. But what I hope most of all is that you understand what I mean when I tell you that even though I do not know you, and even though I may never meet you, I love you. With all my heart, I love you.
This is sad, man.
Valerie.
That's really sad. Really messed up. This is a very interesting movie.
Arrange a detail of 6 men and take her out behind the chemical shed and shoot her.
Wow. Imagine how you are feeling right now during that situation where your execution is about to happen at any moment. Just imagine your thought process and how you're feeling. So messed up, man. How long has she been there? Why has it been like a week? What the fuck? Did V organize this as like a test? Like, what is going on? What the fuck? I don't know if I would be angry or happy. Relieved, but really pissed off at the same time.
Mr. Dietrich's dead. I thought they'd arrest him, but when they found a Quran in his house, they had him executed.
Yeah.
You said you wanted to live without fear. I wish there'd been an easier way, but there wasn't. You faced your death, Evie. You were calm. You were still. Try to feel now what you felt then.
It's a horrible thing to put her through, though. But I know what you were trying to do. It's a transformation moment, isn't it?
I thought about keeping this, but it didn't seem right knowing you wrote it.
Did he?
I didn't.
I knew it. They were authentic.
May I show you something before you go?
So Valerie was a real person. It was a real person. Yeah. The movie. Yeah.
Wrote the letter just before she died.
When you were at Larkhill.
To you as it had been delivered to me.
And it really happened, didn't it? You're getting back at them for what they did to her. And to you.
What was done to me created me.
Like an equation.
What was done to me was monstrous.
And they created a monster.
Authorities have uncovered new evidence linking the terrorist organization called V to the St. Mary's viral attack on London 14 years ago.
Motherfucker.
He suggests that their target should not be an enemy of the country, but rather the country itself. 3 targets are chosen to maximize the effect of the attack: a school, a tube station, and a water treatment plant. Several hundred die within the first few weeks. True genius of the plan was the fear. Fear became the ultimate tool of this government and
cause obedience, yeah.
And was ultimately appointed to the newly created position of High Chancellor.
Masks.
This is exactly what he wants.
What?
Anarchy in the UK!
Chaos.
It's like the Joker in Dark Knight.
With so much chaos, someone will do something stupid. And when they do, things will turn nasty.
Oh yeah. Wow. Kick that motherfucker's ass. Ah, it's fucking badass. I love that.
I will speak directly to
He
these
gets
people
more and more angry,
and
doesn't
make
he?
the situation perfectly clear to
Look
them.
at him.
Any protester, any instigator or agitator will be made example of.
Sieht. Hi.
And something happens to that building. The only thing that will change, the only difference that it will make, is that tomorrow morning, instead of a newspaper,
different
I
colour,
will
yeah,
be
the skin
reading
is.
Mr. Creedy's resignation.
Some added pressure.
Never seen anything like it. Tanks, anti-aircraft, infantry.
Locked and loaded.
If they do, what do you think will happen?
Chaos.
What usually happens when people without guns stand up to people with guns.
That the choice to pull this lever is not mine to make.
Why?
Because this world, the world that I'm a part of and that I helped shape, will end tonight. And tomorrow a different world will begin that different people will shape. And this choice belongs to them.
And you're dying in this process.
The time has come for me to meet my maker and to repay him in kind for all that he's done.
We must remain steadfast. We must remain determined.
No one's
And most
what?
of all, we must remain united.
This is what I think is going to happen now.
It will be righteous. And it will be without mercy.
Yeah, for you it will be.
We finally meet.
He's crying.
I have something for you, Chancellor.
Disgusting.
Damn. He said no, pal.
The only thing that you and I have in common, Mr. Creedy, is we're both about to die.
How do you imagine that's going to happen?
With my hands around your neck.
No.
Bollocks.
There should be a drink count how many times someone said bollocks in this movie.
You'll all be dead before you've reloaded.
That's
impossible.
My turn.
What the fuck? You have like body armor? Like what the fuck? He wasn't lying. I don't know how he took those bullets though.
Beneath this mask there is an idea, Mr. Creedy. And ideas are bulletproof.
No, you meant that literally. Oh. Damn. Down goes Creedy. Yeah. But he's still gonna die. The amount of shit he took. Yeah. The fact that he was able to still kill all them though. Right, damn.
I fell in love with you, Evie. Like I no longer believed I could.
I don't want you to die.
That's the most beautiful thing you could have ever given me.
There's more chemistry between those two than there was between Padme and Anakin.
Because he was right.
About what?
That this country needs more than a building right now. It needs hope.
Amen to that.
Stand down! Stand down!
Yeah. Look at that shot. Whoa. That's cool. Here we go. Holy shit. Wow.
Who was he?
Who's Edmund Dantes? And he was my father. And my mother. He was all of us.
V. And that was V for Vendetta, and what a very interesting experience to watch. And this is a very political movie, in my opinion. It has a lot of those themes. I'm not a very political person, and I'm not going to spew my beliefs on this video. But yeah, a lot of, conservatism, and terrorism. The V, who was this anarchist terrorist, this freedom fighter in a way, he wants to create change within England, and it's very not. I would say brutal. It makes you really open your eyes and make you think to yourself, hey, I wonder, is there any similar characteristics in our government? I'm sure there is with the propaganda aspect. I'm sure there is similar. I'm sure, it's happened in history, during the Cold War, during World War II, and during the Nazi regime. Propaganda is a huge thing, and they did that perfectly in this movie with the BTN, the British Television Network, and then I love that scene when you have Stephen Fry, who plays this guy who's a homosexual, and if he reveals that, he's gonna die. He's gonna be executed, and he does his parody of the Chancellor, and he knows this is gonna. Well, you would think he would know this is gonna backfire really badly, and it does. It gets him killed, but and this movie, it just makes me very uneasy. I don't know why, it just does. It has that weird effect on me. The St. Mary's virus that was caused by the government, and it helped. I forgot what the party was called, but it helped to get this guy into this high chancellor position. Well, he created that position for him, and he got control over it, and they released it into this school and tube station, and there were some conspiracy theorists about the COVID, situation, and a year ago, I can't believe it's been a year ago now, and if I watched this movie during that time when COVID was first happening and lockdown was becoming a big thing, I would have been very, very uneasy and very nervous afterwards. And yeah, there's a lot of themes of conservatism and liberalism, and causing change and protests, and it gives me the question when I watch this movie is peaceful protest, and what V was going for here. V was no, there was no peaceful protest in V. V was willing to violence, vengeance, and he was a victim of the Lock Hill, this concentration camp in a way where they experimented on human beings, and they executed people who were Jewish, they were homosexuals, they were black, they were different, very similar to, in history, to concentration camps, cases, seen in other countries in the past. I don't just I don't just want to mention Germany because there's been other situations too. It's obviously they're not. It's not a great, obviously this has happened a lot of times in human history, and it's a horrible thing, but this is touched on very well in this movie. And that scene in particular about Valerie, and she was this actress who was a lesbian, and she ultimately died because of this, and she was executed, and it was actually a really sad part of the movie for me. And that whole sequence when Evie is going through, we thought she was getting executed because she didn't reveal anything about V, and it turns out that V was testing her. V was causing this change within Evie to be, less fearful compared to her parents, who were these political activists. And that scene, I understood her rage towards V. She was angry, but then she realized what it did for her. And this is a movie that I'm gonna be thinking about a lot afterwards, because there's a lot of things that are jumping out at you, politically, even socially, and how society is organized in this movie, how England is. It's very frightening to watch, because this could happen down the road. We never know. This world's very unpredictable, with curfews, and there's no privacy at all. And let's get into that in reality. Everyone's got a mobile phone these days. Everyone's got a laptop. I'm sure it's easy for the government to know what we do and what we watch and what we get into and what our, calls and the cameras, I'm sure it's easy for them to get into it, but, that is touched on too. Privacy, that there's, vans driving past, listening to conversations. There's, it's something, you know, I forgot what it's called. I think it's totalitarian society, and you know, that is what it is, and it's terrifying. It really is, and it was interesting to see what, you know, in England where I live, obviously, where what you know, the impact and how it all looks, and the other thing that strikes me is at the beginning the US, you know, these civil wars, they had another second civil war that's currently happening, and this plague, and you know, it's a very interesting alternative future to watch in this movie, and scary because some of it's kind of similar, you know, with, you know, right now with curfews, and you're not supposed to be out, you know, at certain times, or you know, and this COVID-19 business. So, you know, and I enjoyed the performance by Natalie Portman, who played Evie, and she was obviously in Star Wars. She was in Annihilation. She's in plenty of movies that I've seen her in, and she does good in this movie. I don't think she's British. I think she's American. So I didn't notice. I swear she's American. I think she is. Let's find out. Israel. She was born in Israel, born American. Yeah, so she's American. And you can tell the British accent didn't feel authentic. That's my opinion. But the guy who, I don't know who plays V, but he has this nice commanding voice, and you get behind him and you really do feel sorry for him. And he is motivated by vengeance. And he killed the people who detained him and who were part of that concentration camp slash detention facility in Larkhill, who he's severely burnt everywhere, and he covers it up, and he didn't even show Evie what he really looks like at all. He didn't show anyone. And when Creedy asked him to show him, he said no, and shit hit the fan. And I didn't expect that deal to work out with him and Creedy, with, you know, him executing the Chancellor, and they'll get V, but I guess it somewhat did, and V got out of it, even though he did die eventually over it. And when he took the bullets, I thought to myself, "Holy shit, this guy is supernatural." But he had body armor, and he was able to slice and die so his people, despite, you know, being shot a hell of a lot of times. And it goes back to what he said in the beginning. It's about the idea, not about the man. It's more than the man. It's about the idea. And he left that idea and had a huge impact on everyone in England, and that's why they all came together and stormed past the military, and it all worked out. And that shot of the Parliament just blowing up was fantastic. Like, it looked fantastic. And that shot when, you know, all the people, you know, wearing the Guy Fawkes mask and the black clothing, and they all just storm down, and you see like a shot down of what it looks like. It looks fantastic. It really does. And the movie, I'm gonna when I want to, I'm definitely gonna rewatch this movie down the line. I'm definitely gonna rewatch this movie down the line because it's very captivating with the themes it goes for. I'm sure, like The Matrix, things like that, it's one of those movies where you want to watch again to get more of an understanding of the idea of the story. And I like the story of the inspector when he realizes, hey, there's more to this, and he realizes there's government crime, and there's some severe horrible things going on, that isn't just coincidence. This is this is more than just a coincidence. This is a lot more to it than that. And then V is disguised as that guy who tells him what's happened. And there's not a lot of action in this movie. It's all storytelling. It's not in your face, too much action. I think that the first Matrix, the action was more prevalent. In this, there's more of a narrative here, where it's about this government, this neo-fascist government, this totalitarian society, and how it's basically everyone has no ordinary people have no idea. They're just going by and just accepting it, or because of fear. And yeah, and I did like what they did with Evie's character. You know, her parents were political activists after losing the brother, their other son, you know, their other child, and they were detained when she was 12, and she didn't really have the courage because she was too fearful. And even though she knew what happened and she knew things weren't right, and it took V to help her, you know, get through that. And yeah, I had a good time watching this movie. It was a lot to take in, and I'm not a political savvy person. I don't even know what that means when I just said that, but I'm just going to say that for the sake of it. But I had a good time watching it. I did, and yeah, that was my reaction to V for Vendetta. And if you want to watch full length reaction to this, you can on my Patreon, where you can watch full length reactions to all reactions I watched, from movies to all the TV shows, and you can vote to see what I do next. Hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good day.